Hello, everyone. I'm Ambassador Chris,
I'm Ambassador Michael.
and we are the ambassadors of gaming. And we're here to give some thoughts and almost a very light review of Dishonored 2. Our resident expert, or by resident expert, I mean the person that has played the game,
That's
Ambassador
me.
Michael over here.
That's me.
Uh, so I want to go ahead and start out with you. Have you finished it yet? Is the game finished yet?
No, I think I'm about 3/4 of the way through.
All
I'm
right.
pretty. I'm pretty far along.
First thing I want to ask you about is definitely the story. How does is it like a direct continuation from Dishonored one? What's the time frame we're talking here?
It's pretty significant in terms of jump. If you haven't seen any of the trailers or anything like that, the first game takes place around a guy named Corvo and him being set up by the government saying that he killed their empress, and so his whole thing is to get his name, back,
Clear.
get his reputation cleared. So this
And
moves
in the
forward
process, he rescues who,
Emily Caldwin, the Empress's daughter.
which is
And
an
yes,
important piece tidbit of information.
I would like it to be known that the very beginning of this game does something with subtlety that I don't remember the first game mentioning. It just kind of shoehorns information at you that should be a bigger deal.
Mm.
And I don't know. Here's what I'm gonna do. This is a spoiler warning for literally the very beginning of the game. If you don't want to know anything, just click off for a minute and then I'll wave or some bullshit when I'm done. I'll wave. Alright, so the very beginning of the game opens up and it's a discussion about 15 years later, after the first game has ended. Emily's
Okay.
taken the throne. She's ruling the nation. Corvo is, her bodyguard. He's taking care of business. But they shoehorn in the information that he's her father. As far
Okay.
as I can
Now,
remember, they never mentioned that in the first game.
to be clear, it was very broad. Corvo wasn't just a bodyguard. If you played through the original Dishonored, when you start, you're actually returning to the kingdom from somewhere else. I
Yeah.
think you act more of as an aide or even some form of ambassador.
Yeah,
Um,
he's very high up in the
exactly.
ranks.
Yeah, where he probably is in one way a member of the guard or
Yeah.
her personal guard, but he also probably does personal tasks for her.
Mm-hmm.
So a very very personal relationship with the Empress.
Yeah.
As you know, it's they're really friendly. And of course, when the Empress gets killed, she's the one she kind of dies in your arms, essentially,
Yeah.
if I
At the
remember
very
correctly.
beginning of the first game.
Yeah.
So, but see, the thing is, this game opens up big, and I remember Dishonored very, very clearly because I recently played it. Um, so the biggest thing is if you like Dishonored one, you're really gonna like this game because it's just a better version of Dishonored
Okay.
one. It's good,
Yeah.
but it has the same mechanics and everything, but they've made some interesting different design choices with it. But in terms of story, the interesting part is it opens up with Emily's celebrating or they're
Well,
commemorating her death.
let's not go into the too many spoilers.
Well, this is important for the very beginning of the game because I feel other
Okay.
people need to know this because I didn't. Remember I told you this it's a decision at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah.
So it opens up with a ceremony of her mother's death and the anniversary, and somebody comes in, and Corvo and Emily get framed for murders, very similar to the first game. But in the process, you get to choose between playing as Emily or Corvo, and when you do that, the other player becomes incapacitated in a way. So whoever you pick is who you're playing with for that run. I thought it was a tag team thing, where you would be able to choose at each mission, or you'd be able to swap out at some point. That doesn't seem to be the case at all.
Yeah.
Whoever you pick is who you are for the character, and that I assume will branch the story a little bit, but not too much.
But not straight too far.
Yeah,
Just a little varying.
there'll be varying here and there with the way they have conversations and the way you go about
Yeah.
doing things and your powers. So that's that for the spoilers. Um,
Okay.
they made some.
How about
Go ahead.
what about actual like the gameplay? Like how does it is it like the same? Because I have not played. My girlfriend loves Dishonored 1, but I have not played it. It looks fun, but I just never got around to it. I understand that the way the gameplay is a little different, but still kind of holds true to
It's
is more similar than not.
it's very familiar feeling, but it also is slightly refreshing because they take you out of you're not at the city you were in the first game. You're in a completely different part of the country. Like they move you from the capital to you're in the southernmost part of the country. So the dynamic of the city is different. And they do some really cool different things with the environments because it's a stealth based game.
Yeah.
No matter how you play it, you still have to play it semi stealth because you can't just gung ho into a room with a bunch of guards and kill everybody. If you can,
How is
it
the how big is the area in any given level?
um
Because I understand the big thing in this game is options.
yeah, well it's the
You do
biggest
what
thing
you
is there's
can
layers to each
choose what you
level.
do.
Yeah, and there is options. I choose to play non lethal. That's just the way I choose to play those games. I try to kill as very few things and people as possible. But the maps are bigger than the first one, but they're also layered.
Yeah.
So there's different buildings and routes you can take. But that also depends on the abilities you use. They made one big overhaul, at least because I did an Emily playthrough, so her powers are very specific and different than Corvo's. So she can manipulate the environment in certain ways he can't, and vice versa. Um, and every stealth game has to have a pulse or like a radar kind of thing. You know what I mean? Especially
Hmm.
because this one's in first person. The pulse in the dark vision in this game is referred to as dark pulse. And instead of you being able to see the enemies at all times, you only see them occasionally. Like it goes and you can see, and then you can't see, and then it goes
Yeah.
and you can see. So that was a complaint I had with that, but overall, it plays basically the same. There's more routes, I think. I feel like it gives you more options in this one, which is
Okay.
nice. You have more questions? Because you typing, I assume you mean you want me to move on to the next thing.
No, actually, I just started tip typing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
um,
I just started tip typing randomly. Um, I guess I was gonna ask if you think it'd be open to a third one, but you haven't finished it yet.
I haven't finished it yet, but the way this game is, here's the thing: Dishonored could go on forever because the main characters don't matter. The thing about
Yeah.
Dishonored that matters is the area, the city, the country itself is what matters to Dishonored, the setting.
Yeah.
Um, because like I'm playing completely detached from Corvo and most of the characters from the first game, and that doesn't matter to me at all. I'm not even like kind of sad about it. I'm like,
Okay.
oh whatever, you know. So it could go on with other games. I'm sure there will be other games. I'm sure there'll be a spin-off. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a spin-off that's an in-between game because they did that thing where they gave themselves a really far
Yeah.
timeline. So um,
Yeah.
it'd
I
be
mean, I
interesting to
like the
see.
fact that these came. I like the fact that these came out so far apart.
Right.
They're not like Dishonored One had some pretty good success. I'm really glad they're not like okay, the following year like boom, 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 like
They're taking their
drowning you
time.
out with yeah. They're taking their time. They're giving people like something to be excited, something to be excited for.
Yeah. Well, it's
Um,
a Bethesda game. That's just usually how they don't Bethesda doesn't do yearly releases. They do release a
is there
game every year, but
is there any difference in like well you haven't played as Corvo.
mm-hmm.
I was gonna say like is one or the other kind of like designed for distant combat and hand to hand, or are they both for hand to hand? Or
This game gives you more options in terms of tools and things like that. The crossbow is really effective in this game. It was really important in the first game, but it's even better in this one. The accuracy is just better. The darts are better. Um, but like Emily, when you look at her perks, most of them are set up to be aggressive, to go for lethal
Mm.
kills and things like that, which is a problem for me trying to play it non-lethal stealth. Um, so if you want to go non-lethal, I would probably say look more into Corvo. I haven't played it. I'm gonna go back after I beat this one with Emily. I want to go back and play it as Corvo, but I'm gonna play it on easier difficulty. The AI in this game is a lot more refined than the first game, especially on hard. They like even when because it's a stealth game, so it has to have a lean option. And in most games, when you're leaning, the enemy can't see you. You know what I mean? But if like one fraction of your head is out in hard mode, they're like, "Who the fuck's there?" You know,
Yeah.
so like it is challenging when you do play it on a harder difficulty. Um, uh, One decision, like some of the decisions with the bone charms are weird. Do you know what these are from your time watching
Nope.
her play? Bone charms are not their equipment, I guess. They're little buffs. So like one of the ones I have is you can breathe underwater longer, or if you're under water, it increases your magic. That kind of bullshit. So
Yeah. Is there anything else like just different about this game from Titanfall
from
from
Titanfall.
from Dishonored one?
Yeah, there's a mission, that, two missions in particular that they showed off before. The dust mines is an area where sandstorms will happen.
Okay. Does that
Um,
mean you can like go out in the open?
yeah, it's easier for you to go out in the open. You and enemies have less visibility, which is nice for when you're trying to scale up buildings or
Yeah, that
get
introduces a
around.
new element to stealth.
Um, there's an interesting mission in that same area where you have to kill. You can kill a gang leader or you can kill one of the guards, high-ranking guards. And if you kill them and you bring them into the other's territory, they won't attack you. But previous to this, both of them would. So like
Oh.
it was an interesting decision. And then the last one is the time traveling one. Is really fucking cool. It's also really really hard because
I
it's hard for you to
uh,
navigate the area. So, but they do try different things. I just don't feel like they try enough different things. Basically, I feel it's a better Dishonored. So,
well, good. I think that's probably all we really have to say about it right now. I think.
yeah. Uh, Two last things. I know you didn't see it. I'm not going to include it in this, but I did run into a glitch, and it was only annoying because I couldn't do anything about it. I finished a mission, right, and then it reloaded me back into the world. And when it did that,
Okay.
it set me down somewhere and pushed me in between a wall. So I was stuck in between a wall and like the floor, and I couldn't move out. I had to reload the game. That was really fucking annoying. And then the textures are kind of like honestly, they look like the same textures from Dishonored 1. Like if you're not a graphic snob, it doesn't matter to you. It's just kind of like
The gameplay, bro.
yeah. I
You
mean the
can appreciate
textures
a
on
game
all
without 4K.
yeah. Well, all the textures on the people are really good. The weapons, powers, things like that. It's just like when you see rocks. For some reason, Bethesda fucking hates making rocks look good. So, but that's pretty
Yeah.
much it. Yeah, it's good. If you like Dishonored 1, get it. If you haven't played it, good news is it does come with a remastered version. So, of
Of
the first game.
Dishonored 1.
So, if you haven't played the first one, you can just buy it and they will give you both. So, then you have a chance to run through two. And
Yeah, it's
$60 for
definitely
two games is not bad.
it's definitely more incentive
Mm-hmm.
to pick it up if they're trying to reach out to those people who haven't played Dishonored.
And that's a smart move.
Probably some people, definitely younger kids, maybe whose PS4 or Xbox One is like their first console generation that
Mm-hmm.
they've ever really had. I can definitely see that happening. But anyway, that's it for our review. Anything you wanna put in the comments. If you want to support us on Patreon, that's down in the description as well. I'm Ambassador Chris,
And I'm Ambassador Michael.
and we'll see you in the next one. Okay.
Bye.